Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. Tonight, we take a look at the unfolding global crisis. In the Iran conflict, stalled talks between Tehran and Washington have left the world on edge. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has expressed his readiness to meet with Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Azerbaijan. We'll also examine the growing rift within NATO and U.S. President Donald Trump's sudden cancellation of a trip to Pakistan aimed at brokering talks on the Iran war. Let's break down these key developments and what they mean for global security. As tensions between Iran and its Western allies continue to escalate, a critical moment in the ongoing crisis has arrived with stalled Tehran-Washington talks. The U.S. President Donald Trump has canceled a planned trip to Islamabad by his envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, in a significant blow to efforts to end the ongoing war with Iran. This move comes as negotiations to bring an end to the two-month conflict stall, with both sides showing little willingness to compromise. The Iranian Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, had presented mediators with a potential framework for ending the conflict while visiting Pakistan over the weekend. However, despite this development, prospects for a diplomatic breakthrough appear to have dimmed. The U.S. president has stated that Washington has received a new peace proposal from Tehran, but it has already been rejected. This rejection is a significant setback in the talks, and it remains to be seen whether either side is willing to revisit their positions. The conflict between Iran and the U.S. has had far-reaching consequences, including pushing energy prices to multi-year highs, stoking inflation, and darkening global growth prospects. The situation on the ground continues to deteriorate, with tensions running high between both sides. The United States, Israel, and other countries have all been drawn into the conflict, making a resolution increasingly complex. The stalemate in talks has raised concerns about the potential for further escalation, including military action. As the situation continues to unfold, it remains to be seen how events will play out. For now, the prospects of an end to the conflict appear remote, and the world waits with bated breath as the situation evolves. As tensions between Russia and Ukraine continue to simmer, a surprise proposal from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy could change the dynamics of the conflict. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has stated that he is prepared to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in a third-party location. This announcement comes after a series of diplomatic efforts aimed at de-escalating tensions between the two nations. According to reports, Zelenskyy's proposal for a face-to-face meeting was facilitated by Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev. The Azerbaijani leader has suggested that a meeting could take place in Baku, which is seen as a neutral location due to its geographical position and historical ties to both Ukraine and Russia. The planned meeting between Zelenskyy and Putin has been met with skepticism by some, who argue that it may be too early to expect meaningful progress given the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine. However, others see the move as a positive step towards reducing tensions and exploring potential avenues for peace. Zelenskyy's willingness to engage directly with Putin is seen as significant, given the Ukrainian president's reluctance to meet with his Russian counterpart until recently. The fact that Zelenskyy has chosen Azerbaijan as the proposed location for their meeting also highlights the complexities of regional politics in the Caucasus. The international community will be closely watching this development, with many hoping that a meeting between the two presidents could help to reduce tensions and pave the way for a more constructive dialogue. As tensions rise within the alliance, a critical question looms. Can NATO's unity withstand the tests of an increasingly complex and volatile world order? The rift within NATO has taken center stage after U.S. President Donald Trump's furious response to a refusal by European member states to join the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran. This stance marks a significant departure from previous agreements and raises concerns about the future of the military alliance. According to reports, European countries such as France, Germany, and Italy have expressed opposition to a potential U.S.-led strike against Iranian nuclear facilities. Trump has taken this refusal personally, labeling Europe's inaction very disappointing and threatening measures against member states that do not support his stance. The UK and Spain are reportedly under consideration for sanctions due to their reluctance to join the war on Iran. This move is seen as a direct attack on European sovereignty and the very fabric of NATO. Carne Ross, former British diplomat, warns that this is a very serious situation and that the UK and other European countries will not be bullied into supporting military action without clear justification. Trump's aggressive stance has sparked heated debate within NATO. Eli Bremer, founder of Independent Diplomat, notes that the alliance is built on trust and cooperation, adding that any member state that feels coerced or pressured will question the very purpose of their membership. Pablo Calderon Martinez, head of politics and international relations at Northeastern University London, emphasizes the long-term implications. If NATO's unity is eroded now, it could have catastrophic consequences for global security in the years to come. The future of NATO hangs in the balance as world leaders grapple with this unprecedented rift. Following a sudden shift in diplomatic priorities, U.S. President Trump has abruptly canceled a high-stakes delegation trip to Pakistan intended for strategic talks. The cancellation of a planned trip by U.S. officials to Pakistan for talks on the Iran war has dealt a significant blow to diplomatic efforts in the region. The trip was supposed to involve Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, but President Donald Trump canceled it on Saturday, citing tremendous infighting and confusion within Iran's leadership. According to Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghi, the talks were meant to discuss ways to end the war in the region. However, Trump claimed that Iran was not serious about diplomacy, saying, if they want to talk, all they have to do is call. This statement has been widely seen as dismissive of Iran's efforts to negotiate a peaceful resolution. The cancellation of the U.S. trip comes at a time when tensions between the U.S. and Iran remain high. The two countries are locked in a standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, which is crucial for global oil supplies. The U.S. has increased its naval presence in the strait since February, when the U.S. and Israel launched strikes against Iranian targets. The war in Iran has had significant consequences for regional stability and global energy markets. Diplomatic efforts have stalled despite Trump's extension of a ceasefire that was due to expire on April 22nd. Now, with the cancellation of the U.S. trip, hopes of another round of face-to-face talks seem to be fading. The situation remains highly volatile, with both sides showing no signs of compromise. Following a dramatic escalation in tensions over Iran, President Trump has abruptly canceled his planned diplomatic visit to Pakistan to discuss regional security concerns. Donald Trump has canceled a planned trip by U.S. officials to Pakistan for talks on the Iran war, just hours after Tehran's delegation had left Islamabad. The decision comes as diplomatic efforts have stalled despite an extension of a ceasefire that was due to expire on April 22nd. The U.S. president claimed that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner would be wasting too much time if they were to travel to Pakistan, saying instead that Iran should simply contact the U.S. directly. Trump expressed skepticism about the Iranians' intentions, stating that Tehran was not truly serious about diplomacy. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghi had met with mediator Pakistan earlier in the day, sharing his country's position on ending the war, but expressing uncertainty about the U.S. commitment to talks. Diplomatic efforts have been hindered by a standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, with Iran restricting passage through the key shipping route following U.S. and Israeli strikes in February. The U.S. has increased its naval presence in the strait to block Iranian oil exports, which is a major concern for Tehran. Trump's cancellation of the trip means that any hopes of another round of face-to-face talks have faded. The White House had said earlier that Vice President J.D. Vance would join the talks if they proved successful. The cancellation comes as tensions between Iran and the U.S. remain high, with both sides locked in a standoff over security and economic interests in the region. The incident highlights the challenges facing diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict, which has been ongoing since 2018. That's all for today's recap. We'll continue to monitor the Iran conflict, the emerging talks between Ukraine and Russia, and the implications for NATO's unity. Stay tuned for updates on these developing stories. Thank you for watching. If you want to stay informed about global news, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll keep bringing you the latest developments as they happen.